Now, one stock which has been remarkably strong through this turbulence has been Coal India, 368, 370 on that stock now. NC Jha, Chairman of Coal India, has joined in to talk about some of the news which has come in of late. Mr. Jha, morning. Thanks for joining in. What do you make of the government's decision now to cancel allocation of 14 coal blocks and a lignite block and to award them to Coal India? What does it mean for you?
No, I have not heard this news that they will cancel this block and allocate to Coal India. There is a committee headed by the Additional Secretary which examines the progress on the various captive blocks progresses, and based on the progresses they decide whether to continue with this allocation or it should be cancelled. But there is no such discussion that will be handed over to Coal India.
You don't think it's likely?
Coal India has made all its plans. At least I have not heard that.
Okay. Coal India actually did very well after the price hike that you took in the fourth quarter, and there is talk that you may raise prices once again next quarter or the quarter after that. Is it likely a mid-year second price hike?
You see, the last price hike we had on 27th of February was after about 1.5 years of the previous price hike. And this was the need of the time because there were increases in the input costs. The salary wages have increased, other input costs have increased. So we worked out a strategy as to how compensate this increase. And so we made a strategy of having a differential pricing system, which you are all aware. And very recently, that's about a month and a half ago only, we have increased the price. So further increase of price at this moment is not conceived.
However, I
don't feel there is any need immediately.
But there is the proposed mining bill, and wages will have to go up for Coal India as well. To compensate for that, do you think it's likely that you may think of a price hike?
As and when it comes, you see, there are two issues that you have raised. One is the bill, and that bill is undecided yet. So as and when it comes, we will have to look at that. And as far as the wage is concerned, yes, from 1st of July 2011, our wage hike for the workers and non-executives will be due. But we have not yet been able to constitute the Joint Bipartite Committee on Coal Industries, which we call JBCCI. And once we constitute that, then all the dialogues will start. It will take a longer time. But yes, we have to factor in the cost of this increase of wage from 1st of July. So there is still 2 months left. We will look at this as to what emerges in 2 months, and then we will take a decision.
But once the wage hikes kick in, you think it's possible that you may want to compensate with a price hike? Is that likely?
We will have to look at that because wage hike is substantial. As you understand, the coal industry employs around 400,000 people, and one hike in wage that translates into something like more than 10,000 crores in a 5-year plan period. So we will have to look at that, and that becomes effective from the due date. It's not that from 1st of July the wage hike will be due, and if I increase the price later, then the payment can be made, the payment can be made later. The issue is that from the date it is due, the payment has to be made from that date. And if I raise the price later on, then I cannot make it effective from that date. So we'll have to work out as to what strategy we should adopt in next 2 months, and accordingly we'll have to make a provision for this hike in our accounts.
Okay. So by when do you think you will be in a better position to tell us whether further price hike is necessary or not?
By the end of June.
Okay. What kind of production targets are you working with this year, Mr. Jha? Because earlier some targets were spoken about. Have they been changed?
Yeah. Now this year our production target as per annual plan is 447 million ton for very good rating of the company. But for excellent rating of the company it is 452 million tons. So we are working on 452 million ton because we don't want to be rated as very good. So looking at the prospects of different projects, we have made a plan for meeting a target of 452 million ton. I would like to mention here that production is fine. Production we must produce, but at the same time we are also concerned about the 70 million ton of coal stocks that we had at the end of previous fiscal. Now 70 million ton of coal stock is nearly 1/6 of our production, nearly 2 months production, which is undesirable. So there is an issue of movement of coal from the pithead to the consuming centers. It's good sign, there is a silver lining in this, that in the past month, that is the first month of the current fiscal, we have been able to liquidate 4.5 million ton of coal from our stocks. And we have also grown in production by about 4.5%. So whatever we produced plus 4.5 million ton of stock has been dispatched, and the overall growth in the dispatch is around 8.8% compared to the same period previous year. So these are good signs for the current year.
But we do understand that the transportation and logistics scenarios are less than ideal, Mr. Jha. Do you think you can clear that 70 million ton backlog during the course of the year, or given your production targets, you'll be saddled with an even higher closing stock at the end of the year which has not been dispatched?
No, you see, the whole stock cannot be liquidated in 1 year because the targets are also growing. There is a 4.8% growth in the target, and we have 70 million ton of stocks. So whole stock cannot be liquidated. What I am aiming at is liquidate at least 25% of this stock, so that subsequently if we keep the same trend, in 3 years time or maybe 4 years time, we are able to bring this stock to a comfortable level. There are issues of coal offtake because the Indian Railways capacity had not grown to the desired level. We had taken up this issue with the Indian Railways, and they are also in unison with us. They have increased the availability of rakes, and let me tell you that in April 2010, the average rakes availability was 158 per day, and this year, April, it has been 180 per day. So there is about 22 rakes per day availability increase. If this trend remains, which I hope would be, because I have been in constant dialogue with the railway authorities, then hopefully my target of liquidating 25% of stock will be achieved.
Good luck, Mr. Jha. Good talking to you. Thanks very much for taking time out for us today. That's the Chairman of Coal India talking about various important issues. They will take a call at the end of June on whether further price hikes are warranted or not, depending on how the wage situation pans out. Let's end